Celebrity Traitors Live. Kate Garraway is suspected as Paloma Faith meets her maker in shock episode 2 twist. BBC game show phenomenon saw the musician murdered with a slow-acting poison by Alan Carr, while Stephen Fry looks set to make an important vote in episode's cliffhanger ending. The second episode of Celebrity Traitors has seen Paloma Faith murdered with a slow-acting poison by Alan Carr. Truly a sentence few would have anticipated reading this week. Carr, who was selected to be a traitor alongside singer-songwriter Kat Burns and TV presenter Jonathan Ross, touched Faith's face with pollen from a dark lily. However, Faith survived until the morning, with she and the rest of the faithfuls tasked with figuring out which one of their own had been killed via a game set in a graveyard. Faith's murder was met with a mix of sadness and shock by the rest of the faithfuls, with Kate Garraway exclaiming, "I'm flabbergasted," at the sight of Faith being shoved into a coffin. This remark came back to bite Garraway, however, with Tom Daley and Tamika Empson both making note of her apparent overreaction to Faith's demise. As the episode continued, suspicion was cast on Garraway by multiple faithfuls, while YouTuber Nico Omalana also drew distrust. The episode culminated with presenter Claudia Winkleman gathering the cast at the very first roundtable, which saw them voting to boot out the person they most believed to be a traitor, but only after some tense interrogations. There, Garraway defended her actions by proclaiming, "I'm just a ham," but few seemed entirely convinced. A cliffhanger ending saw Stephen Fry tasked with what could be the deciding vote, with Garraway receiving 3 votes, from actor Ruth Codd, Empson, and Burns, Omalana receiving 3, from Carr, comedian Lucy Beaumont and rugby player Joe Mala, Empson receiving 2, from Garraway and actor Mark Bonnard, and Daley receiving 1, from Omalana. Celebrity Traitors will continue next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Celebrity Traitors 2025 lineup. Full list of contestants for the first all-star edition of the game show. When are the episodes released and how can I stream it? How much are Celebrity Traitors being paid and what prize will the winner get? The Celebrity Traitors review. It's still the camp and menacing show we know and love. With a stonking all-star cast, why Alan Carr is all of us in the Celebrity Traitors. Who was Paloma suspicious of? On Uncloaked, Paloma revealed who'd raised her suspicions during her time on the show, confirming that if she survived to the roundtable she would have voted for Tom Daley. "I felt like his outfit at the funeral was very serial killer why," she joked. "It was very American Psycho, with the buttons all the way down. I was like, oh my god, he's a psychopath." Need to know the exact type of black cloak Claudia Winkleman is wearing in every episode of this series. Inda Best has you covered. Katie Rosinski also shared her thoughts on Celebrity Traitors in a very positive review of the new series on Friday, writing, "Traitors diehards were fearful that a celebrity version would go against everything that made it so watchable. But, based on this opener at least, they don't have anything to worry about. This new spin-off stays faithful to the show we know and love. The starry spin-off of the BBC hit stays faithful to the original formula. And it's such a delight to be back at Ardros Castle. Why Alan Carr is all of us in the Celebrity Traitors. Still, it is undeniable that Alan is the runaway star of this series so far. Just ask Helen Coffey, who wrote this lovely piece published yesterday about the brilliance of choosing him to be a traitor. Alan Carr. Bad traitor? We should probably talk a little about Alan's slight loudness as a traitor. Jonathan noted him giving him a wink at a very busy bonfire. Kat was worried about how loose his being with chatting all things traitorous while vaguely in the company of others. Come on, Alan, taper it down a little. On Uncloaked, Paloma mentioned that she had picked up on Alan's sweatiness, too, which she hadn't noticed during the years of friendship despite tabloid reports that Paloma was allegedly furious about being murdered by Alan Carr. She has expressed her forgiveness. "I maintain to this day that, if the shoe was on the other foot, I wouldn't have done that," Paloma explained on Uncloaked, after being asked whether time has healed her sense of betrayal over being murdered by Alan Carr. "I don't think he should have done it to me, and I'm surprised that he did. But he is extremely lovable and I've spoken to him since, and I do forgiveness quite an easy thing, so I love him." Paloma's thoughts on the exposed traitors. On spin-off show The Celebrity Traitors, Uncloaked, freshly murdered Paloma Faith said she had no suspicions at all about Jonathan Ross, after learning he was a traitor all along. She was more surprised by Kat Burns, proclaiming, "Oh my god, these people just killed me out of malice." but she reserved her most shock for Alan Carr, being out of order. I hope they never call me again, and I mean that. I feel even more betrayed now by Jonathan and Alan, and actually Kat, because she's on the same record label as me and she should have some loyalty. We're gonna miss Paloma, aren't we? Cliffhanger ending. Who those little cheats? Steven is up next, but we have cut to credits. Who will be eliminated? Find out next Wednesday. Sigh.